Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah. Roll up this, you pullin', now you know.
Yo, what is up? It is Hoops and Brews. We are back. We haven't done a virtual episode in forever. I know TP is not here. He's dealing with some health issues, but I got my man Scott.
If
anybody has seen Hoops and Brews, you know Scott. Also, Scott has his own show, which is on HNB Media TV. Want to tell them about the show?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you, which is on HNB Media TV. We got 3 episodes out right now. We will hopefully be back this week. That is the plan, to be back this week. We took a little break last week. So yeah, check that out. You know to follow me on Twitter at Barberchair Scott on Twitter and Instagram. Follow the Barberchair Network at BarberchairNet on Twitter and Instagram.
And as always, follow me on Twitter at PavyWorld, PAVY World, all one word. But let's get into it. NBA Finals. It is currently a 3-2 situation. Game 6 is what I think it's Tuesday, right? Game 6 is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday.
The funeral is Tuesday.
You put him in the dirt already?
Yeah, I'm putting him in the dirt, bro. But I think I actually said this in like our private conversation. I think I said this on. I think I was like, yo, they're gonna lose 4 straight games. I think it was at the party. I was like, yo, they're gonna lose this game. They're gonna go back to Phoenix. Phoenix is gonna be a close game. They're gonna lose, and then Game 6 they're gonna get cooked.
Right. I do remember you saying that. I would say this series has changed pretty damn quickly.
Yeah,
The
literally.
first 2 games of the series looked like the Suns had all the answers. Despite Giannis' heroics, it looked like they're kind of like the team of destiny, kind of like how the first Phoenix Suns team. I don't know if people remember the first 1993 Phoenix Suns team. That was their little shtick all season with a team of destiny. Anybody remember that old interview that Charles Barkley had with Amar Rashad? And it was like, yeah, we're going to win the championship. God told me last night. So this is nothing new for the Suns. I kind of felt that way, but it's like this series kind of reminds me of the Brooklyn series a little bit. Now, of course, Brooklyn didn't have Kyrie. Harden was on one leg. But it's like when they went back to Milwaukee, the series changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Brooklyn could never, even though Brooklyn won Game 5, took a 3-2 lead, Brooklyn never really had control of the series again. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like no matter what punches Brooklyn threw, Milwaukee would always bounce back. It was multiple times in Game 7 against Brooklyn where I felt Milwaukee's done. And they just kept coming. And they just survived stuff. Like if KD's shoes were an inch smaller, it would have been them moving on. So it's kind of feel like they might be the team of destiny. And it's just, everybody had those questions about Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton after those first 2 games. They were point shaving the game too. And both of them.
I will say this. I never thought Drew played that bad because at least with Drew, at least he played quality defense. So I never thought Drew played that bad.
I get that, but they don't just pay him all that damn money.
They don't.
Play defense.
They don't.
And it's not like he was huffing it up on the offensive end. He was just wasn't shooting as much in his. Today I'm just gonna do this. No, he was missing hella shots.
He was missing layups.
He was missing layups. If they would have gave them anything in Game 2, this series might be over right now. And I just kind of feel like we've really just seen, and it's kind of remarkable too because Bud is a terrible coach, and it's like. Bud is the epitome of getting carried, dog.
He's like, okay, look, he's not great, but I don't think he loses them games, right? I don't think he makes decisions that loses them games.
Yeah, he does.
Okay,
and it's not just his whole coaching career. That's just who Bud is. Bud makes dumbass mistakes, and just this team is talented enough to get away with those dumbass mistakes. I won't say coaching is overrated in sports because it's not, but it also kind of shows if you have the talent, coaching doesn't matter as much. You know what I'm saying?
Some things you can't fuck up.
Some things you can't fuck. I'm gonna make a baseball comparison here with the White Sox. We have a geriatric manager who's old as shit. And as long as he just sits there and shut up, you can't mess up the talent on this team. So it's kind of like that right here. Bud might do stuff that's stupid, but you got Giannis and all these other guys who are kind of just making, up for. And I think the number one change I've seen in these last 3 games is just Chris Paul, and I know a lot of stat hawkers out there. People, somebody showed a stat line yesterday. It's like he had a good game.
No, he didn't. First of all, he had one turn. That's false. He had one turnover that counted as his. Yeah. Remember the first pass in the first quarter to Miles Bridges? He threw out of bounds. Yeah. Miles just caught it, Miles saved it. So it ended up being his turnover. Also, there was one he threw a pass to Cam Johnson in like the corner that Cam had to like reach out for and then threw, and that was Cam's turnover. It should have been Chris Paul's turnover. Chris Paul has been awful the past 3 games.
Well, I think that's also because Drew Holiday been locking his ass.
Yes,
up.
He has.
Drew's been playing good defense on him, and even I won't say game 4, Drew didn't have Drew. To me, Drew's game 4 is kind of what you think Drew's game 2 was. Like offensively, he wasn't the best, but defensively, he was in his face. If you made the game difficult for Chris Paul, and the thing about Devin Booker's had a pretty decent series, especially last 2 games, but it's like D-Book don't do other aspects to win the game, which is why I hate the Kobe comparison. Like, he's just a scorer. You know what I'm saying? And even didn't he shoot the ball like 35 times or something like in game 6?
He did. He did shoot the ball like 30. I think it was like what? Yeah.
Now that is
Kobe-esque.
That is
okay.
Kobe-esque
Like about. Because I had an argument with this with Glasses. Actually, shout out Glasses. If you look at Kobe's just his offensive numbers and the way they play offensively, if you look at Kobe at his age and Booker at his age, I understand how people make the comparisons. But
Kobe's way better defensively.
But I was gonna say the reason why I don't like if you want to say just offensively, okay. But the thing that makes Kobe Bryant is also his defense. Like he was like arguably a top 5 defensive guard at his position ever?
Yeah, for sure.
Arguably, I mean, you got Jordan, maybe you got Sidney Moncrief, Tony Allen.
Moncrief, Tony Allen's up there.
And at least from what I'm thinking, if I'm thinking about 2 guards, Kobe is in there.
Yeah, Kobe's definitely in there.
Obviously, his offense endeared him to the fans, obviously, because, fans love offense and fans love scoring. But the Lakers aren't winning those championships if he's not the defensive player that I think he's 10-time first team all defense, something like that?
He's 9. I think Mike is 10. But the thing about Kobe too, really the 3-peat Kobe more than older Kobe. But 3-peat Kobe at the end of games, it was his job to get other people involved too. So he was still making other plays out there too. Like they'll be in the 4th quarter, where it's really Kobe time. Like Shaq would dominate the whole game in the 4th quarter. It was Kobe. Kobe would get Robert Horry and he would get Rick Fox in it. So I didn't see him do that in that much in the 2 championships he won with Powell, because I guess he's a little older. When he was younger, he did that. Like, I don't see Devin Booker do that. And I feel like if he could set guys up more, maybe they could have won when Chris Paul has, when he's, go out there and, and point shaving pretty much is what he's been doing.
Also, the thing about Devin that he needs to work on is staying out of foul trouble, because mostly even I think it was game 4.
He's been getting away with a lot of fouls.
He's getting away. He's been some of his has been criminal.
He had 8 fouls in game 4.
When he tackled Drew and they called nothing, but even in like game 4, right? He has to sit down for 5 minutes at a very critical stretch because he has 5 fouls. He needs to work on playing defense. Just basically moving his feet and playing defense with his feet and not his hands, because in a lot of these situations in these series, he would be in the game and probably have more of a say-so at certain points in the game if he wasn't in foul trouble to be on the court.
Right.
So, but still talking about the finals, but switching it up, I do want to hone in to the Chris Paul point. We have a question here. I don't know what you think. Does this not come down your PG list if he loses this series?
He just wasn't that high on mine to begin with. But
where is Paul on? First of all, where is Chris Paul?
Okay, that's a lot. Okay, well, like I said, I'm not gonna hold you a couple weeks ago. Like, whether he wins or not, he's not gonna change his ranking. He's like number 4 on my list. Actually, he's probably like 5. So this is actually where I would say number 1 to me is Magic. Obviously, I have Steph number 2.
That's right.
I have Isaiah Thomas number 3, and right now I have Jason Kidd number 4. Then I have CP3.
No Oscar.
You know how I feel about Oscar Robertson, man. You know how I feel about Oscar. If Mary Tyler Moore was on TV when you were hooping, I really don't care about them stats, with all due respect. But if CP3 wins, I'll put him over J. Kidd because it will be because of him. J. Kidd was more of a complimentary player on the 2011 Mavericks. Sure. But if he loses, he's going to stay right there at 5. There's nobody I can put over Chris Paul at 5, even if he goes ringless. I can't even. I'm not putting Gary Payton over Chris Paul. You know, I mess with GP way more than Chris Paul. But no, I think he can only go up to 4. He's not going to lose the spot no matter what happens in the series. But he will get these jokes.
I mean, I don't think Chris. I mean, if I had to do a PG list right now, like my honest PG list without any like bias, would probably, if I do a top 5 just off the top of my head, obviously Magic, Steph, probably Bob Cousy, obviously Bob Cousy, Oscar Robertson, and then after that, honestly, bro, I will go with John Stockton. Like if you look at if you just look at even just having the steals record and the and the career assists, I think it's like 14,000 assists.
John Stockton gets disrespected too much.
And I always think if John Stockton would have shot the ball more, they would have a ring.
Yeah, that's just wasn't their style of offense.
It wasn't their style of offense.
I feel like if John Stockton played today, he would be a 3-point guy. Like, I feel like he would shoot a lot of threes.
For sure. But with Chris Paul in this, I've actually been very disappointed in Chris Paul's play in the series. Like, but my thing is just the turnovers, bro. Like, I understand the defense. I get that, you know, Drew is out there and there's somebody there, but bro, they pay you $45 million to figure out these riddles. Like, it's really one play in game 3. It was probably in the first quarter. I remember sitting there in the stands, like, what the fuck? He goes on the screen and literally just throws the ball over his head with like if this was January, you could probably get away with that pass. In a January game against the Thunder, that's fine. But like you said, in the NBA, if you got to have a little bit more attention to detail. And I know, you know, people saying, oh, his hand might be torn. He on the court. If you on the court, I'm gonna assume that you healthy.
Right.
So he on the court. I don't really want to hear about that. You just need to play better. You need to play better. Period.
And especially he's the leader of the team too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your job to do that. And also, I'm thinking the main thing I'm disappointed about with CP3 is because you waited your whole life for this moment. and this is gonna be the last time. I'm glad you tweeted this earlier. Suns ain't coming back next year. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if they win. I don't care if they come back and win this in 7 or lose. Next year, LeBron gonna be back. The Nuggets gonna have Jamal Murray back. The Clippers
still gonna be there.
The Clippers even if Kawhi misses most seasons, I think Paul George has proven that he can lead this team even without Kawhi. So the Clippers will be back. The Jazz are gonna be back. The Warriors are gonna be back.
Dallas might add someone.
Dallas might be reloaded. So it's like you can't blow this. That's why I'm more disappointed about this with Chris Paul. And it's like, dude, it's like a woman you wanted your entire life, right? And then you finally get her and you completely don't do shit for her. It's like, dude, what are you doing? That's exactly what CP3 is to me. And it's like, if I was a Suns fan or if I was a Chris Paul fan, I'd be very, very disappointed. And it's just like this whole series has kind of changed because everybody know I was a big Giannis fan before the bubble last year. He disappointed me and I got tired of defending his ass. Now, I agree. Now, I agree with your point. What you were saying, now we can't put on that because it was a bubble and it was a government experiment. I agree with that. But he had what he's doing right now, what he's been doing what he was doing all postseason is what I've literally been asking of him for the last 2 seasons. So now that he's doing it, it's amazing. And it's like for Chris Paul, I thought Chris Paul was like, all right, I'm here now. I thought Chris Paul was going to take it to a level that, that we were expecting to see. And we all talk about legacy game. Game 6, baby. Legacy game.
He's gonna have like 4 points, right? He's gonna have like 4 points. He's gonna have like in between 4 and 12 points. He's probably gonna have like 2 turnovers and shoot like 4 of 12. I'm telling you, it's not game 6 is going to be nasty. There is no part in my mind that thinks game 6 is gonna be competitive. It's going to be nasty.
Before we get into game 6, can we talk about what we think this is gonna do for Giannis? Because I feel like if the Bucks win game 6, like I predicted them to win. This is why that picture that they had yesterday that I posted. It's like prophetic because it's kind of like the unofficial pass of the torch. It's like LeBron in the background looking like, oh shit, my time is done.
Oh shit, I remember when I could do that. Right? I remember when I could do that.
And Giannis doing the dunk. It's kind of like I feel like if he wins on Tuesday, now he has to win.
Yeah,
we're gonna be entering the Giannis era, and like you said on the HNB Twitter like a week or two ago, that you think he's the best player in the league. I think this will solidify him as the best player in the league if he wins on Tuesday.
Man, if he, I hate to say it because it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. But no, it's like seriously, if you look at Giannis's work up to this point, like in the past 40 years, probably only Michael Jordan has a better career up to this point.
Are you talking about like
Giannis.
a resume rise?
Yeah, like resume in the past like 30, 40, like 30, 40 years. Like, even if you I think they said on like the broadcast last night, I think Bron won his first ring at 29, 28, 29, something like
Bryant
that.
got drafted, he was 18. He won in 2000. So yeah, he's about 29. He's about
He was like 29 years old. Giannis is 26.
Yeah,
and you were already
how old? Michael was 28 when he won. I think Michael was 28. When
yeah, but Jordan
did 3 years of college.
Yeah, Jordan did 3 years of college. Also, Jordan came in the league and immediately averaged like 25 points. It took Giannis Giannis has really been on this freight train for about 3-4 years now.
And what's crazy too about Giannis, I remember Giannis' first postseason because it was against the Bulls.
Oh, remember when he tackled Mike Dunleavy?
Oh yeah. And this is when I knew that eventually this dude was gonna be a problem. He was causing problems with Jimmy Butler, and he really couldn't even do that much that time. And that series went to like 6.
It did.
We should have beat them in like 4 or 5, and it went to 6. And I was like, a little more grooming, that kid might be. Now, of course, I didn't see 2-time MVP best player of the year, but the way his curve has been, and it's been incredible to watch. And this is, and he's 25, right? 25.
Nah, he's 25, but he's turning 26 this year. So like next season he'll be 26.
He's entering his prime too. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, like even just like with the way, like I started watching a little bit more Buzz games, this year, and just some of the things I saw him doing, like the turnaround fade. He's been working on that, all year. He would do mid-range pull-ups, like every now and then. I appreciate the fact that he's not scared.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, and that's the big difference between him and Ben Simmons.
Him and Ben
Both
Simmons.
of them can't shoot, but Giannis is still going to shoot, and Giannis is going to do other things that's going to impact the game. It's like Ben Simmons says, "Fuck it," and that's the most irritating thing about him.
Now, one thing I do think about Ben Simmons saying "fuck it" is I think Doc Rivers or coaches.
He was doing that with Brett Brown.
Listen, I don't know if coaches empower him and like, bro, I don't care. Just do what you do.
Danny Green had the best quote to describe Ben Simmons. He said he's a kid. Like, and if anybody watched that Showtime documentary of his 1 year at LSU, he's been babied his whole life. Like, when he was at LSU, his mom was treating him like he was 5. And it's like, they were letting him, he was super spoiled. So it's like now he feels like he doesn't have to work as hard. And that's what Danny Green said. He said, if you don't stay on him, he's not going to do it. Yeah, so that might have something to do with coaching. Well, you have to stay, but I shouldn't have to stay on the number 1 draft pick all the time.
But no, like Giannis literally, he will go up there, airball a free throw, next possession, come right down the court. Like he didn't just airball 2 free throws. Like I appreciate Giannis's mindset. Like, and then even like the quotes that he's been having, post game, and just even when he said the thing about, I really like. I'm like, yo, you're actually a really likable guy. You're actually a really likable guy. Like, even for instance, last night when they was like, yo, what makes them alive? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I'm like, bro, thank you for saying that. That was that had potential to be one of the stupidest plays in NBA history. Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
Giannis, why did you leave the games early? I had to take a tinkle.
like the shit's funny. Like, he's actually a very likable guy. He works hard, and man, like you said, and then also with the way that he plays the game, especially like, I don't think I've never seen him score the ball like he's been scoring the ball in these finals.
Like, honestly, like we haven't seen any shit like this in Shaq. Like, and to me, it's a little bit more impressive than Shaq because he's not as big as Shaq. Like, Shaq got away with just him being bigger than motherfuckers. Like, and I always say I like Shaq, but I do think Shaq ate off a lot of mediocre centers when they won 3 in a row. When it came to the Big Willie style centers, he got ate up on.
Keep it all the way.
Disturb him. Duncan, not Duncan, but Robinson,
Hakeem.
Dream used to take him to
whooping his ass.
So you gotta face Todd McCullough, Wash Mutombo, and guys like that. You can do that, but with Giannis, is like he's a center in a power forward body, so it's like it's more impressive, kind of.
He's literally a combination of Shaq and LeBron, and I don't think I've ever seen no shit like this before. I've never seen no shit like this before.
I don't think he'll ever get a jump shot, but if this can be somewhat decent, but look, even if it's let's just say it's fuck. I agree. Who gives a fuck? But let's just say it gets somewhat decent. Good luck.
Even like against there was a play yesterday, I think, when he backed up and hit the mid range on Aiden. If he could just do that like once or twice a game when he needs to go to it, it's crazy. But also with the way he's been playing, like actually, I think the knee injury probably, I don't want to say helped his game out a little bit, but it made him
not rely on his power.
It made him play a little bit more below the rim.
A little more finesse.
Yes, and it also showed me he's gonna have a long career.
I agree with that too, because I was wondering like how he was gonna look when he gets like 32, 33 or something like that.
Just fucking fine.
Yeah.
Just fine. He's gonna do the same moves.
I think this Bucks championship is gonna change a lot of things if they win, because Phoenix still got a chance. They can still go on the road to win. It's a low chance. They still got a chance. But I think it's gonna change a lot of things, because we're gonna see Giannis. The number one narrative that's gonna come out of this is fuck super teams. Yeah, that's gonna be the number one thing that comes out of it. It's gonna be like, well, Giannis stayed down. He did it this way, and it's weird because now the Bucks are gonna be justified for trading all that shit for Drew Holiday.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. Giannis is gonna get praised for not running from the grind. You know what I'm saying. And I know you can say Kyrie and Harden, but honestly, Kyrie always hurt. So I don't feel like we can really use that. And Harden was still on the court, even though Harden wasn't Harden. Harden still can make plays. Yeah. And I think that's probably Harden's number one thing outside of scoring. So I don't want to me, I would look at a Suns championship more like, more than I would Milwaukee, because literally a person they played was missing somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that would be the difference to me. But I also feel like for next year, it's going to give Milwaukee more of a confidence now. More of a swagger, like, okay, they got Kyrie and they got Harden come back. We still the champs, and we know how to win the championship now. And that's gonna make them a little bit more lethal. So a lot is riding on Tuesday. To me, Milwaukee, of course, you was at the game. Milwaukee looks like one of the best crowds in basketball, and they ain't won a championship since
47 years.
Who was the president? Jimmy Carter? I don't even remember. Who was?
That's a great question. Who was? Probably Jimmy Carter. It's probably Jimmy Carter.
Because it wasn't Nixon. It had to be Carter. I think it was Carter. So it's been a long time. Michael Jackson was still the Jackson 5.
Watergate hadn't happened.
Watergate hadn't happened, bro.
It hadn't happened, dog.
Magic and Bird was still. When they were in high school?
Well, no, they're probably in grade school.
They were grade school. So that's how long it's been. And I just feel like that fan base is waiting. And I'm kind of torn, because I feel like Wisconsin doesn't deserve happiness because of their football team. But I want to see Giannis win. I also feel like other NBA players don't rock with Giannis for whatever reason, because he's not buddy with y'all. He don't be at Drew League and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think it has something to do with it. So I'm like, go for it, man. I'm rooting for Milwaukee to do this.
Yeah, man. I also think it's cool that we different cities can win something.
I think for the league.
It's great for the league. I think that Milwaukee can have a Giannis and put a quality of team around Giannis, and they feel like they have, because for so long, outside of San Antonio and LeBron getting dropped in Cleveland, but I feel like LeBron in Cleveland, especially the second time around, don't even really it was a small city. It was fucking LeBron. It don't count.
It's because LeBron's from the area. Let's be real. LeBron wasn't from the area. He wouldn't even look twice.
Yeah, it wouldn't look twice about Cleveland. Yeah,
let's be real. Yeah. He went back for them fans, not for. I don't even think him and Dan Gilbert spoke after he signed that contract.
Probably not.
It wasn't with that. And I feel like this. I agree with you, because the number one problem with the NBA is it's not really parity driven. One thing that NFL has and the MLB has over the NBA is there's different cities.
Yeah, that's
in it. You know what I'm saying? You still have your big name teams, but it's kind of cool to see Milwaukee and Phoenix in this. And I think game for game, this is the best finals we've seen since 2013 in my mind.
I
feel like 2016 will be great because of the narrative, in Game 7 it's probably a top 5 basketball game of all time. But the actual series, to me, wasn't better than 2013.
Not at all. Especially last night, that's one of the best games. At the game had everything.
Last 2 games,
it had everything, really, bro.
They said that's actually, I think, the second time in playoff history that team was down 16 in the first half and they were leading at halftime.
It's also funny because the whole time watching, as long as they're not down 20 at half, they're gonna win. Yeah. The whole time, as long as they're not down 20 at half.
When they took the lead, I was like, all right, they fucked up. Now I feel like if it was 4 minutes left in the clock, Phoenix probably would have won, because Milwaukee's doing everything they can to lose.
Oh my god, the offense that they was running for the last 4 minutes was stupid. I don't know what.
It's like they said, fuck giving the ball to Drew, and
yeah, literally.
Chris Middleton is kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick, because they have this circle. Fitzpatrick looked like Brady for the first 5 weeks of the season. And then he go out there and play like Ryan Fitzpatrick. And it's same thing with Chris. Chris can go out there and look like modern day Kobe for a couple games. Then you be like, dude, you get paid $100 million?
It's just
they better hope that continue on Tuesday.
It's just Chris Middleton is just inconsistent. Like
Yeah.
literally, if Chris Middleton could do what he does every night, he dead ass might be one of the best small forwards to ever play game of basketball. If he could do that shit every damn night, because when he gets hot, that shit looking. He got all the cool moves. That shit look incredible. Mans will look unstoppable.
There was like a period, like in game 5 or game 4, where him and Book was going shot for shot.
That was last night.
I was like, what am I watching? Chris Middleton going shot for shot with Devin Booker. What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? And he did the same thing in Brooklyn. Brooklyn game 6, he was fucking them up. And it's just like, okay, we need you to do this all the time. And I think this is what Phoenix kind of fucked up, because in Phoenix, you have games when you're home, your bench players play better, your role players play better. You can't expect that to happen in Milwaukee. And I just, and I see the comment about, no, I don't have Suns at 7. I don't. I have Bucks at 6.
It's so funny because like being around like a lot of hoopers, for some reason they just love the Suns. Like people just have this love affair with like the Suns. It's like, dog,
I wonder, they might be because of who they it might be people they fuck with. Like a lot of people fuck with their GM, James Jones.
Like, it's not, James Jones. It's like it's not happening. It's been
the funniest tweet out of the whole game 6 was the Bucks went on 17-3 run, and Monty and they're talking about raising your boys right in this climate.
I'm crying. But we are both rolling with Bucks and 6.
I got Bucks and 6. Now, honestly, we talked about this in the group chat. I think it's gonna be mirror Lakers, Celtics. I think it's gonna be a beatdown. Like
at halftime, we're not gonna be paying no attention.
Right. I feel like if Phoenix, if it's a close game by halftime, I'm like, okay,
I would be shocked.
I would be shocked. If it's like, I think they're gonna get their ass kicked. I think.
Didn't we watch that game together?
Yeah. No, I wasn't with you. I was with CK. I was in a lounge.
Mad as hell.
Mad old
fuming.
I was hot. I was hot. Everybody know me. I'm a Kobe stan. I was in there hot. And then the other time, game 7 against Boston, they were down like 17.
They were down 17. They was down 17 going.
Like, my man Bean came, and then Ron Artest came and saved the day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's why I think it's gonna be a beatdown, dog.
But moving on, so you were the first to ask that I heard report this, the Dame Lillard news. There's been more Dame Lillard rumors this week. We can talk about them. I want to get into this because I'm tired of seeing this. Lakers fans need to fucking stop.
Yeah,
I'm tired of seeing this. I am so tired of seeing this.
That's the thing I gotta say about Lakers fans. When of course everybody, I'm a diehard Bulls fan, but when Kobe was on the Lakers, I will go for the Lakers because Kobe is my man. Now, of course, when the Lakers played the Bulls, it was fuck the Lakers. But I wasn't a Laker fan. I just loved Kobe. So I didn't really understand how annoying Laker fans were. Then Kobe retired, and I was like, Laker fans, Cowboy fans, Yankee fans, top 3 worst fans in sports. Laker fans don't think the salary cap exists. I'm trying to still figure out how they think they're going to sign DeMar. And y'all talking about some Dame. That's not going to happen.
I had a whole argument with somebody that said, what that man say? That man said, we going to trade some assets. First of all, what assets?
We're
going to trade Kuzma, Trez, and THT, and we're going to get a third team involved. I'm like, bro, you realize you have 0 assets, dog. You have absolutely nothing to.
And that's the price you pay when you go trade Anthony Davis, which is nothing wrong. You do that trade every day of the week. I don't give a damn what Zion going to be.
You want a ring.
You want a ring. Want a ring. So it paid off. But the thing about Dame, now, one thing I've noticed since putting this out there in the Twitterverse, there's a lot of subtweets out there. I saw a lot of people subtweet. That's fine. You ain't got to believe me. Just know I'm putting this from a very, very, very credible source. And like I said on my video, and I feel like a lot of people thought I said that he was going to get traded. I never said that. I said in the video that I still think he stays. But he's putting pressure on them. He wants something to get done by All-Star break. As you saw in that press conference, Team USA, that's step 1. What we've seen over the last, since Kawhi, I think Kawhi was the first disgruntled star, right? Kawhi, Paul George, one of them.
I mean,
Kyrie was probably. Was it Kyrie? It was one of them 3. In the last 4 or 5 years since we've had the forced trade thing.
Yeah.
This is the first step. They say, I want to be here. I want to finish my career here.
Yeah.
That don't mean shit. But when he said, oh, I haven't made my decision, he's still thinking of this thing. So it's going to be an interesting summer. Like I said on my video, I don't think any trade gets done. I don't think he's going to leave, at least right now. But I feel like they don't get somebody by All-Star break next summer is when there could be a trade.
Yeah, I don't think right now Dame realizes it's not gonna happen in Portland.
No, I think he does. No, I think he does realize. He does realize. He 100% realize. That's why he's upset.
Okay, fair.
That's why he doesn't really like the Chauncey Billups signing. Like you said, he does not because he ain't got nothing against Chauncey. He just feel like Chauncey's a rookie coach.
Yeah, so you gonna stick with the rookie coach?
Yeah, I would have went out there and got Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle went home. He was with the Pacers before. I think that's the kind of caliber of coach he wanted.
Yeah,
a guy who's playoff tested, and that's the same thing. People's like Becky Hammond too. And that's cool, Becky Hammond, but neither one of them, Becky Hammond and Chauncey Billups, are rookie coaches.
Yeah, and
Dame is tired of getting to second round, getting his ass kicked. Now, of course, that's nothing to do with coaching, in my humble opinion. It has everything to do with the talent around him. CJ's nice, and I've never seen a player talk as much shit on Twitter
as CJ McCollum.
Like CJ McCollum be tweeting like we don't watch him hoop. I know you ain't mentioned defense. I know my eyes don't deceive me. So that's the problem we have there. But also the issue is I don't really know who you can get in Portland. That's going to take them to the next level. And nobody signed to Portland. That's for damn sure. So I don't know. They're in a fucked up situation.
I don't really see a deal out there for them. Yeah. Like even I don't really see a deal out there. Like I don't think there's anybody that that I'm hearing, that I'm even seeing or thinking about, that wants to be moved, that I think would literally move the needle for Portland and even put them in the conversation with even the Suns. I don't think there's a team out there or a move that kind of they can make. They have the issue of they just don't really have the defense. They don't really have good defensive players. They have a small backcourt. It's not like they have an extreme rim protector behind them to get away with having a small backcourt. They
don't have a rim protector at all.
Yeah, at all, really. Like Nurk, for instance, like the Jazz can.
Number one, Nurk can't stay healthy. Number two, I wouldn't count him as rim protector.
Exactly. Like the Jazz, they can get away with playing. First of all, Collins is a great defensive player. Number one, well, not great, a really good defensive player, and Donovan is Donovan. But they can get away with playing two small guards because you have Rudy behind you. So at least you think we could funnel stuff to Rudy. You can't funnel nobody to shit in Portland. And you really have no wing scoring. Yep. So they just have roster construction issues that I don't think they can fix. But I do want to ask you, where would you like to see Dame end up? If you could, if it was your world and you could put Dame in one place, where would you like to see Dame end up?
You know the answer to that question.
Okay, why?
Madhouse on Madison.
Why? Explain to me why you want to see Dame in a Bulls uniform.
First of all, you'd be basketball Jesus in Chicago.
Yeah, he would. But yeah,
straight right here. Now, of course, the defense would be very shaky with him and Zach. And I would trust AK to surround them with good defenders because they're going to need it.
You would have to trade Zach, bro. Like, you're not giving me Dame without giving me Zach.
Okay, bye.
I'm not trading Zach for Dame Lillard.
I'll trade Zach for Dame Lillard. I would. I like Zach.
I'm not.
I like Dame more. And that tells you how much I believe in Pat Williams. I believe in Pat Williams a lot. I am a Pat Williams truther. And in 5 years, y'all will look at me like I am Nostradamus or Negrodamus. I'm telling you right now. I believe in him. But yeah, I would like to see him in there. But if I had to take away the Bulls, I hate to say it. I really do. Because I despise this fan base. I like to see him in New York. I love to see him in New York. I don't know what the hell he went in New York.
They just gonna redo the Mellow era. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. You're gonna have a 50-win season.
You're gonna have a couple fire commercials.
Gonna get smoked by the Bucks in the second round. Yeah. But
if we asked to win a championship, that's a good question.
I got the move, man.
You know what's funny? I would like to see him in Milwaukee.
For who? For Drew? For Middleton?
We just talking about hypothetically. We're not talking about realistically. Fair. Realistically, I don't know how the hell they put up. Let's say hypothetically, I'd get Middleton the hell up out of here, and I'd have Drew lock up people who Dame can't lock up, and Dame and Giannis's police report.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Police report. So yeah, there's not really that many places realistically that Dame can go where I feel like, okay, they can win a championship.
I got the move, man. Just like my man's right here saying, I want Dame Lillard for Ben Simmons. It works out for both teams. Ben Simmons, I think Ben Simmons would be better on his own team because I do think that they have a contrast of styles. I think that Ben Simmons probably needs to be in a more fast-paced offense. He's more of a transition. He's more of a transition player.
Team where he doesn't have to be a top 3 scoring option.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think he can score. It just needs to be more fast paced. He's
I
not
feel
really.
like Ben Simmons would work on the Bulls because we're not going to be asking him to go out there and score. But see, Ben Simmons just got to learn how to finish because we on any team, you got to finish, bro. Like one of the plays we saw, he just did not dunk. You can't have it.
Yes.
But Dame and Philly, that would be nice.
That I want, and I think, and also Dame, like love Dame is great, but realistically, Dame is turning. I think Dame just turned 31. Realistically, Dame probably has 2 elite years left.
He can shoot. I don't say that. He can
elite years,
and Dame
elite
never
years.
really, and Dame rarely gets hurt like that.
Yeah, but I figure, but look at
Dame 3 or 4.
Oh nah, man, look at these new crops of guards coming in, bro. It's new crops of guards coming in.
I ain't say he was fit at anybody, but I still think he can be elite offensively.
I think he can be really good, but I think he has, like I said, maybe 2 to maximum 3 elite years left. So I think if you trade for Dame Lillard,
Steph got 2 years on him, and Steph look better right now than he ever did.
Yeah, but the thing about Steph is a mutant, dog. Like he be out there shooting 50% from the field as a guard, a short guard. Who the fuck does that?
Fuck his 2 MVP season. This was the most fun Steph is.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, I think if you trade for Dame, you have to say, yo, we can win a championship next year, or the year after. And I want to see it in Philly.
Philly would love Dame too. And honestly, that's the best trade. Honestly, if you're Portland, like even though no matter how I feel about Kangaroo Kid Gilchrist, as I like to call him, he's still an all-star, and you're not gonna get an all-star back outside of that situation. If I'm Philly, I'd jump on that.
He's also 24. Like, at least you think you can extend. I mean, people will come see Ben Simmons. He's still a star.
Portland. Ain't shit else doing Portland, but go to Nike and drink beer. They'll come to that game.
Yeah, they'll come to the game. Shit, you still make the playoffs, lose first round, probably. Most likely. Entertaining AFC. I think, your defense would obviously get better. Number one, you put one of the best defensive players, in the league on your team. CJ could still do, handle the offense and do his CJ thing. I think that's the best move. Probably, let's say, do Dame Lillard, Maxey, throw me some picks, and I'll throw you Dame and probably like Nasir Little or something like that, or like a protected second round pick or something like that. That's the move that I want to see happen. Like, I don't really see anywhere else. Make Boston, but like,
I don't see Boston.
Yeah, I don't really. I think Boston's fine personally.
Too real for Boston, man.
That too, and I also think Boston's fine.
They let one of them words ring off, it's gonna be a problem.
Dame,
he ain't going.
Yeah. Somebody said Dame to the Mavs. I mean, that's cool. I don't really know.
Like I said in my report, that is more realistic. People think it is because number one, him and this is why I just found out. Him and Porzingis are cool.
That's wild, random.
And it's super random. Him and Porzingis are boys, so that's realistic. Also, like I said, I'm not gonna hold you 2-3 weeks ago. Nico Harrison, that is the Mavs' new GM after they got rid of Donnie Nelson. He used to work at Nike. He was Kobe's man. He's from Oakland. Remember the game when the shot he hit on PG?
Yeah.
He ran down in the court. The dude he dapped up was Nico Harrison. So that is a very possible scenario right there. That to me is up there with the Knicks.
But how are you getting Dame to the Mavs without getting Porzingis to Portland?
That's the issue there, but as cool as they are, I'm pretty sure Dame will get over it.
By the way, if I'm Dallas, fuck Porzingis. They don't even use Porzingis anyway, so fuck Porzingis.
Everybody knows how low I am on Larry marketing. I still take Larry over Porzingis.
No, you wouldn't. Stop lying. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Stop lying. You're lying. You're lying. Right now, you're lying. Right now, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. It's okay. You're lying. You're lying.
I hate marketing.
You're lying. You're lying.
I'm dead.
Okay. No.
I'm dead ass.
I will never forget when y'all sat on this show and told me that man was better than Brandon Ingram. Get the fuck out of here.
He had potential at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, he had potential. It was funny. You hate Lloyd marketing when you the person when we draft him said he was gonna be nice.
I said he was gonna be decent. I still think he'll be decent.
He's gonna be good. You're gonna be good. G.
He's not a terrible NBA player.
He ain't good.
He's okay, G.
Nah.
He can average, like, bro, he'll probably average, like, again, if you send Larry Markin to Dallas right now, he a 16 point per game player.
Okay.
He's just not going to be an all-star. He's a good player. He's just Danielle Marshall, the 2021 version. Danielle was hard, G. Danielle was hard.
Danielle Marshall was never hard.
He was G. Danielle was nice.
Never forget, the Bulls not want to give up Danielle Marshall to get Dwayne Wade. Never forget that. Thank God the Garpax era is over. Never forget that. That's a throwback Thursday for y'all.
But moving on, I actually want to get into, obviously, you're a Bulls fan. What do you want to see from the Bulls this offseason? Yeah, what do you want to see from the Bulls this offseason?
Point guard, and I want to see wing defenders. I want a 3-and-D guy. I want a wing defender. I feel like I be yelling at Reinsdorf-led teams. Like, these are two things you need on the White Sox. I want a second baseman and a right fielder. With the Bulls, I want a point guard and I want a 3-and-D guy. Now, there's a report out from the Athletic that came out yesterday. The Bulls are going to be very active in the guard market. They're looking at Lonzo Ball. They're looking at Kyle Lowry. Those are two guys that they're going to be looking at. I wouldn't mind Kyle. I did not like Kyle Lowry before they won a championship. Kyle Lowry is a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame shit.
I can live with Kyle Lowry as a Hall of Famer. I can't live with Al Horford as a Hall of Famer. We need a board if Al Horford gets to the Hall of Fame. I can live with Kyle Lowry. But I wouldn't be mad at Kyle Lowry. I personally want Lonzo. Like, Lonzo is like number one on my list. I feel like his game will be perfect for the Bulls. And I also feel like his style will work well with Billy Donovan. So I want that. I want a Zach LaVine extension, which I think is just a matter of time, especially if you listen to his press conference this week. He said, yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's going to get done. Like, Zach wants to be here. AK wants him here. But I think more importantly, number one thing that's important to this franchise, more than Zach LaVine extension, more than point guard and 3-and-D guy, Pat Williams, him taking that leap. Now, I'm not expecting him to be great next year, but I do expect him to be more offensively shooting the ball more. And that's what he said he wants to do. He's been training more. He's been in LA. Of course, every NBA player is in LA, but he's been in LA this offseason. He's been training with Zach too. So that's the number one thing. I really like where the Bulls are going. And I think when the season starts, I think it's gonna be an 80% roster overall. I think AK really gonna go out there and have a very aggressive offseason. What I love so far, just in the year and a half he's been here, is he's silent. He don't say shit. He just go out there and do it. Like, there was a lot of Bulls fans last year who were upset that he didn't fire Jim Boylen right away. And they was like, if he keeps him, and then before you know it, we got Billy Donovan. If you know the Bulls, we never signed big name coaches. And I think year one of Billy Donovan was pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Now, the funny thing about our bet is we were both right. That's the funny thing about it. Like, I was right. I won the bet numbers wise, but you were right about the team. Like, team ain't that damn good.
Ain't that good, bro.
But also, we needed to see that though, and that's just how bad the coach. I didn't know who was good, who was bad.
You knew who was good and bad.
I didn't know.
You knew who was good and bad.
I didn't know Markman was that ass.
Yes, you did, bro.
I did not know. I did not know.
Yes, you did.
Now, I'm not high on Kobe White. I'm kind of straight on. I'm straight.
Kobe is a 6-man.
Yeah, if you stick them, if they what they was trying to use him this year, having a point guard, that's just not his game.
Yeah, he's a scorer.
I think the Bulls have a good opportunity, and my expectations for the next year, like I said, I sound like Charles Barkley every time I keep saying like I said, but they have to be a top 6 seed. I don't want no damn playing game. If they're not in a 7-game series, I'll be disappointed.
What is the next step for Pat Williams? Like, if you could give a player comparison for Pat Williams, what do you think best case scenario is? Who's going to Kawhi?
It's easy, but it's Kawhi.
Okay.
I think Kawhi, and because everybody remembers Kawhi wasn't what he is now. Like, Kawhi took a while. I don't think Kawhi got to where he is to maybe 2017.
Duncan retired.
Yeah, when Duncan retired. Like, even
he started doing ISOs. I'll never forget that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Duncan retired. Like, ISOs now?
He won Finals MVP just because Duncan was old and he couldn't do it for a series. Like him, he played great defense on LeBron. LeBron averaged like 40 on 60% shooting. I was like, okay, I guess. But that's shut down LeBron. But I think that would be the best comparison. What I've seen from him, to me, he had a very, very good rookie campaign. Second, he's an all-rookie second team. This is coming off basically no training camp. You had a small training camp. Yeah. Like, the draft was in November last year. He played a month later. So he didn't have the full scope of a regular offseason. So for him to do that, I think he's just going to take it to the next level. And I think his ceiling is Kawhi. That's what I think his ceiling is. I'm not saying that he's gonna be Kawhi, but I think that's what the comparison is.
I think the Bulls just need more defense. I think you have all the scoring that you need.
Number one.
You have all the scoring that you like. The thing about trading for Vooch, and probably the reason why, man, and probably also the reason why the Magic decided to let him go was like, yeah, he's gonna get you 20 and 10, but he's probably also gonna give up 20 points as well. So knowing that, you probably also need to surround him with whether you want to put Pat at the 3 or the 4, whatever, he's a wing, same position. You probably need to surround that team with another, like you said, 3-and-D wing, and the reason and a guard defense. I will prefer Lonzo just because I think Lonzo can. I think the Bulls could. do a thing where they play fast, and then when you don't have nothing, dub it down to Vooch.
Yeah.
And I think Lonzo would be the perfect guard for this, for that. And also, I'm a man, I'm big on Zach. I think Zach is the MVP candidate. Just waiting to happen.
I still think Zach is better than Devin Booker.
I think he's better than Devin Booker. I'm sorry.
Everybody on Book now because he on national television. Give Zach that same spotlight.
Give Zach the same.
Give Zach Chris Paul.
First of all, Zach gonna be shooting the wildest shot. Like literally, the only thing that
we need playoff Zach. I'm sorry, we need playoff Zach.
The only thing that changed this year with Zach LaVine from this year to last year is he just made all them stupid ass shots. If you gonna make them, like for him to shoot the shots that I think he was almost 50, 40, 90 this year, if I'm not mistaken. For him to be that efficient shooting the shots that he shoots
with the people he got on his team
is incredible. Yeah. If you give Zach some guys, I honestly think with that level of athleticism, if you give Zach some guys and surround him with a team, he's an MVP candidate. I'm sorry. I think he's an MVP candidate.
And I think too, like the last, I say, couple games of the season, him and Vooch was starting to get into a little rhythm. Like I think the thing that fucked them up is when they were getting into a rhythm, Zach got into COVID protocol and he was out for 2 weeks. That pretty much ended their chances to get in the play-in because they were right there. Then Zach got the fucking, I don't even know if he got it, but he was in the protocol. Protocol. And I saw a lot of Bulls fans mad about that draft pick. I was like, dude, Orlando got the 8th pick. If I had the opportunity to do the 8th pick to get Vucevic, I do that shit all over again. To me, this is only like a 6-dude draft. Tops anyway.
Not even that. Actually, I want to get into that eventually, but not even just that. It's just that to me, I think just the trade more than anything, it sends a message to the fan base like, yo, we're trying to win basketball games. And also sends a message to Zach LaVine, who's going to be a free agent. I'm sure he's not stupid. He like looks around the league. He saw what's going on, with the Suns and Devin Booker and how Devin was looked at one way this year. You put a team around him, now they winning. He looked at it. They called him Kobe. They didn't want to call that man Kobe last year. Calling him Kobe this year. Like I'm sure he sees it.
So people talking about Devin Booker put up empty stats. I remember that. It was like 14 months ago. It was like 14 months ago. It was 14 months ago. Now he the flavor of the month, but I remember.
I remember that. You know what I'm saying? So like for him so I think it just sends a message just to him and to the fan base that, we are trying to win basketball games. And that's why I didn't have an issue with the trade. Forget those picks. Fuck those picks.
And I think that's a big thing when you're trying to sell it to a fan base too, because I think with Bulls fans, we've had trust issue with our fan bases. And this is with our front office. And this goes back to the championship years. Like if you read the Jordan rules, it's honestly incredible. They won one.
Yeah.
Fuck really it. It's incredible. They won one.
Yeah.
That 91 team wanted to whoop Mike ass. Like all of them couldn't stand Mike. So the fact they won 6 and you had a front office who, and I think Jerry Cross gets a bad rap too.
He's not here to defend himself.
He's not here to defend himself in that. And I don't think they shitted on him per se in the documentary. I think, they're like, oh, even Mike said we wouldn't have won without him. But you go from the Cross regime to the Garth Hacks regime, we're a little scarred. We don't believe what our front office tells us. So just with AK and Eversley, and I want to keep bringing up Eversley because he's the only one of the few black general managers in the league too. It's not just AK doing shit. It kind of makes the fan base, this first offseason we've had in a while, I'm like not worried about it. I'm like, they'll do what they need to do. I ain't got to worry about them signing washed up motherfuckers and shit like that. So it's really about putting confidence in your fan base to believe they're gonna go out there and do the job well. And I think that the Bulls in the right position right now.
Okay, fair. But so moving on, NBA draft is coming up. I think it's July 27th.
It's the 27th?
Yep, 27th in New York. Obviously, the Pistons has the number 1 pick. So basically, Cade Cunningham should be looking at real estate in Detroit because that's where you're going. Really, you look at real estate in Farmington Hills, my brother. Do not look at real estate in Detroit. Look at real estate in Farmington Hills, my brother.
In Detroit now.
Yeah, they actually play in Detroit.
They're downtown Detroit now, so you might get some bulletproof glass.
Hey man, downtown Detroit look decent now. It's not the same city downtown looks wise that it was.
Last time you been downtown Detroit?
I'm gonna keep it you like 10 years ago.
It's the same time I've been there. The last time I remember, no the hell it wasn't.
It was looking better though. It was looking better.
It looked like them alleys in Gotham and Suicide Squad. That's what Detroit looked like. You better get some damn bulletproof glass, dog. You ain't going to Auburn Hills no more.
But just talking about the draft, what are some prospects you like, and who do you think will be the best player out of this draft when it's all said and done?
You know what I love about the draft in any sport? Nobody knows shit.
Nobody knows the damn thing.
Everybody like even NFL draft. Everybody look at all this damn film and shit. Like if you wasn't like Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, or one of them top three, that you don't know nothing about.
You don't know.
Dudes. I'm not even gonna sit and act like I know about it. I know Cade Cunningham. I know a couple others that I knew of a couple days. Like when I thought the Bulls had a chance to get them, I looked up a couple things. But if I go off of what I'm seeing, I probably have to say Cade. I feel like he has the best package out of all the top recruits. It's just kind of sad he's gonna go to Detroit because I don't like the infrastructure they got in Detroit either. Like it ain't just a city, but the team. I don't really like what they got there, but I think he'll probably be the best. But one thing we've learned from these drafts, even the last couple of years, like 2018, I don't think we went into that thinking that was going to be one of the best drafts ever. I think we're going to look at it right now. It might be one of the best drafts ever. If you look at Ayton and you look at Luka and Trey and who else?
Yeah, for sure. Luka, Trey. I mean, obviously there's Bagley, but I think Bagley can still have a solid NBA career.
Bagley just got to get out of Sacramento. I'm not going to judge.
Basically, yeah.
Anybody that's in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's who I would say, but I really don't know. I feel like this is a real bang or bust draft. Like it could be, we look back at like it's really good one. Look like, man, that shit was trash. So I don't feel like there's any real in between with that.
The guy who I really like is Jalen Green. He's the guy who Jalen. Now, granted, it could be that it could be the athleticism that's fooling me because he really bouncy, get up off the floor. But I like the fact that he skipped college, decided to go to the G League. Well, that's a statement. He skipped college, decided to go to the G League.
This isn't a play-in next year.
That's the statement.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he skipped college, decided to go to the G League and I know he shot. But my question with any athletic guys is their shot, obviously, because usually they don't work on their shot. But the fact that he went into an NBA program, I think he has a head start on some other guys. Just because you went into an NBA style program and he shot like 34-35%. I actually think the Rockets should take him. I pray to God he does not fall to Cleveland unless Cleveland trades Colin Sexton.
We need to keep all good talent out of Cleveland.
Unless Cleveland either trades Colin Sexton or puts Colin Sexton out on the bench as a sixth man. I think that's where Colin Sexton probably fits best. They're probably going to trade him because Colin Sexton's stats says he should get $100 million, but I'm not paying Colin Sexton $100 million in Cleveland. Unless you're going to be my franchise foundation. So I don't want him to go there. I want him to go to the Rockets because just playing the way Steven Silas plays, I think they're probably going to pick Evan Mobley, but the Rockets don't really use centers like that anyway. Like Christian Wood is who they have, and I think that he's also like 25 years old. It's not like he's that old. Yeah, he's like 20. He's not like that old, so you can still grow with Christian Wood. But I would love to see a backcourt of Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. I think that would be a very electric backcourt and would help Steven Silas play the style that he prefers to play. I've seen him prefer to play. I think he wants to get up and down the court. You throw him out there. Obviously, John Wall's still there. You throw all them on the court together, and you like, throw all them on the court together with Jay Sean Tate and be like, hey, bro, we finna run. And
it definitely will stop Silas get fired in 5 years instead of 3. With that core for sure, because it's gonna happen. I hate to say it, but it's gonna happen.
He came into a terrible situation.
Yeah. All the coaches that come when you see the little tunnel out the light, that's when they get fired.
Happens all the time. Terrible situation. But Jalen Green is my guy. And actually, going back to the Pistons, I actually do. The Pistons have two things I like. They have Sadiq Bey, who I like is a shooter, and Isaiah Stewart, the center they drafted. Gives me, not saying he's gonna be as good as this guy, but he gives me Ben Wallace vibes. He's like a six.
I hate the bang on Detroit because I got love for Detroit. I got family members that live in Detroit, but imagine being a Detroit sports fan right now.
Oh yeah,
Lions. The Pistons, the Lions, the Tigers,
and the Red Wings. I mean, are the Red Wings good?
Red Wings ain't been good in a decade.
No, well, there it is.
Terrible, man. You got Jared Goff.
There it is. But rounding it out, one last thing I do want to get into today. Obviously, I covered the Clippers. There was some Clippers news last week. The Clippers news was that Kawhi had ACL surgery. So Kawhi's probably out for most. Knowing Kawhi, he's not playing next season.
They said partially torn. This is the thing about partially torn. If it was anybody but Kawhi, I'd be like, they'll be back by Christmas or very late Martin Luther King Day. But Kawhi is like me when I used to work. Like, I'm just there so I don't get fined.
But they said the surgery process for a partially torn is the same process for a fully torn ACL.
Okay.
So regardless, it's a year injury. And if you do, that would mean he would probably come back in April. And at that point, I can't imagine he's gonna jump in and go back to playoff basketball.
Even if he did, he ain't gonna be Kawhi right away.
So he's not playing next season. I have a theory that the Clippers should hope that Kawhi Leonard explores other options.
Yeah, they better hope he's not, but they better hope.
They should hope
he's picking the fuck up out of that option.
So you think he's opting in?
If I got an ACL injury and I've already had knee injuries prior to that, and what's his option? $36 million?
I think so.
I'm picking that up quick as hell, and he
To
loves
rehab.
living it. He's from LA.
I ain't got to do nothing with rehab and go to I'm fit for agent next year.
Look, half that cap going to him and Serge Ibaka. Yes. 2 injured dudes. I picked that up so damn quick.
Serge do got to play an option to have back surgery.
Serge ain't did nothing but get fits off all playoffs. He can't even move that back, dog. Like, so, yeah, and the Clippers, man, that window done to me.
That window got shut so fast.
Windows I've seen.
It got shut so fast.
Yeah.
Like, but no, I really think, like, honestly, if I would, call the Warriors up. Like, hey, y'all want Kawhi? If y'all want, now this is unfair for the rest of the league, kind of, sort of. But I'd be like, yo, give me Wiseman, give me Wiggins, and give me all your picks. You can have Kawhi.
I'd do that shit.
Yeah, I give me all your picks.
Honestly, I think it's a good trade for both teams too.
Both teams.
If I'm, how I already feel about Wiggins, but Wiggins and Wiseman, yeah, give me that for sure, man. Kawhi, Steph, Clay, yeah, man, I do that for sure.
Like the Clippers need at this point, they need more young talent. Like because, like we just said, their window, what we thought was their window, does not exist anymore.
Nah, that shit's done.
It's done. Like Kawhi is out for another year. I mean, when he comes back, he's gonna be 31. It's probably gonna take him a year to get back in his wing. So now you're talking about 32. You're also talking about a guy who I don't like. I remember even watching, just looking at Kawhi up close and personal in the 1920 season. I was looking at him like, yo, I don't know if he gonna last. Like. Yeah. I mean, I know everybody, has, recovery work after games, but bro, you getting 50 minutes of surgery not surgery, but therapy after every game.
Yeah.
That's, and you already limping around. And again,
like an old man.
Like, bro, if you tear your ACL off that, like, it wasn't like it was some, like, you see, people plant, like the man literally got bumped and it just planted and partially tore his ACL.
So having problems since he left San Antonio, as last year in San Antonio.
Also, we have to realize Kawhi, like, he's played, I think, a decade, but it's not a normal decade. Like, he's had deep
Spurs, so he got deep ass playoff runs
every single year. So he's really like 12, 30, and that's high intensity basketball that you're playing pretty much every single year. And the quad thing, I guess it's the degenerative quad, like that probably has something to do with your knee, like your quad's connected to your knee. So the Clippers should really, in my personal opinion, obviously not because of talent, because obviously when Kawhi is there and he's healthy, he's one of the best small forwards that we've ever seen. But they should really, in my personal opinion, hope that he decides to explore the options.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion,
it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
I'd be stunned if Kawhi doesn't pick up that option. Like I thought that he was still gonna pick it up even if he didn't get hurt. But to me, it's a no-brainer that he's gonna pick it up with that. And I won't say the Clippers are screwed, because you still do that over, and it's Clippers. At least we'll have something to talk. If you're the Clippers, you're just really gonna be in a conversation. Paul George at least keep you talkative.
Yeah, even though he's probably gonna ask for a trade at some point in time. PG.
Just signed that extension last year.
Yeah, but that makes him also easy to trade, because whatever team knows that you got him for 5 years, 5 years.
His ass stand right there. He ain't going nowhere, man.
PG does seem to love LA. You the star of a franchise. Also, but like with the Clippers, you just want to stay competitive until your new stadium comes. You want to make sure.
I feel about that stadium. I feel like it's good for them, but it's also bad for them.
Why?
That's like part of the allure with the Clippers is they still playing Staples. They playing LA Live. Like, it's still there. Even though it's the Lakers' house and they just renting. You put them all the way out in Inglewood. I don't think people gonna give a fuck.
I disagree with that. I think
who gonna go out to Inglewood to see them?
Shit, people want to see the Clippers.
Who wants to go see the Clippers? Like the allure about you still get to go downtown LA to, now I understand they're gonna be building stuff around the area because the Rams play over there. But unless they plan on a night the Rams play, ain't anybody going over there. I'm very interested to see them what that attendance gonna look like a year into that new building. And I'm not confident about that shit at all. Like,
I mean, I do think that they need at this point that they need their own stadium. I think that they've done enough. They're starting to build their actual history as a franchise.
Like, you look at all the cities that have two teams, even the teams that aren't as popular as others, and they still have a deep history or fan base. Like, even though they've only been in Brooklyn for 7 years now.
Yeah, but they were in New Jersey.
A lot of them were New Jersey Nets fans. You know what I'm saying? The Mets have a good fan base. The White Sox have a good fan. It's not the Cubs or the Yankees, but they have their fan base. I've never met an actual Clipper fan in my life.
I don't, but I do think that the kids who were, like you was 10 in 2010.
Yeah, but are they gonna be fans? Because a lot of these kids now aren't even fans of teams anymore. A lot of these kids are fans of players.
That's why I got to keep a guy out there that people like Paul George.
Don't nobody like Paul George. Paul George cooked this postseason, and nobody cares.
Okay, here's the thing about PG postseason. If you look at the numbers, he did the same shit he's always done. It was just more inspirational.
No one says more inspirational. It was a lot more on the line, and he folded before. Like even though the number he folded.
Here go the thing though, bro. Like it was his first healthy postseason probably since.
Nobody care about all that shit, man. When you on the court, we don't care about all the hypotheticals and shit. You out there, you got to hoop. Now, granted, he missed a hat of them free throws and what game was that?
He smoked both of them bitches. Smoked. He smoked.
But he bounced back throughout the series.
He did. Yes, he did.
So people don't get like they get a likable guy. Yeah, we don't like Paul George.
Yeah, fair.
That's the problem.
Fair, but we can leave it at that.
I gotta say this one thing.
What's up? Go ahead.
About the Space Jam 2. Now, I think.
Oh yeah. Space. Reset. Space Jam 2 movie review right now. Go, Scott.
I'm not reviewing this on Cinema with the Guys, by the way. I'm not gonna waste my time. But think about this. I tried to watch a movie. I couldn't get through 45 minutes of it, and not because it's a bad movie. It just literally was made for children. Like I was good until they got to the part where he became a cartoon, and I was like, my rent is way too high for me to continue to be watching this movie. But I think the thing about this movie that is annoying on both sides, you got people who are like, acting like Space Jam 1 was some acting masterpiece.
It was Jordan's better than LeBron.
He was.
He was better than LeBron. He was better than LeBron.
Look, LeBron, I thought LeBron was gonna be better because he was decent in Trainwreck. LeBron was terrible. But that man dabbed 20 minutes into the movie. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I think more the problem with the movie wasn't LeBron, it was Warner Brothers. And y'all know, if you listen to Cinema with the Guys, you know my beef with Warner Brothers and how they fumble everything. They literally gave you $1 billion movie in Justice League, said, here, we gonna give it to you for free because we don't fuck with the director. And it was basically, they took their whole IP and just threw it in there. Did these kids give a fuck about Casablanca? I'm 32. I don't give a shit about Casablanca references. So it was that I had a problem with, but I think if I was 9 or 10, I would probably love this movie. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think if I take my biased Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls glasses off, I do think the Space Jam 1 had a better storyline. I think Don Cheadle was the best actor in the movie. Obviously, Don Cheadle did pretty well from what I saw. Like I said, I tuned out 45 minutes in. But I feel like the first one just felt a little bit more authentic. You know what I'm saying? And the whole rollout felt, but I think a lot of that suffers because of the pandemic, so they weren't able to do the full rollout like they were able to do in 1996. Mike was coming off his 4th title. LeBron coming off first round exit.
To be fair, LeBron was supposed to be coming off title. In reality, technically.
Okay. If you want to count the bubble, okay, I guess so.
Technically.
Okay. My God is an awesome guy, and he didn't allow that. So, but I think it's a good movie for kids. I think both sides are annoying because if you're the person who's acting like, Space Jam is just this cinematic masterpiece, you're being a stan right now. You need to relax. That was a kid movie then, it was a kid movie now. Now, the other side of it, who's like, it's a kid's movie. What you look like grading it? There's 2 problems I have with that. One, you don't really give a fuck about the movie. You just don't want LeBron to catch any slander. Number 2, kid movies can be bad. I'm sorry. Kid movies can be bad.
Kid movies can be bad.
Kid movies can be bad. So I think both sides of it are annoying. But I think from what I saw, I think it's an enjoyable movie for kids. I think hope everybody enjoys Space Jam 3 in 10 years with Luka.
It's definitely happening.
Definitely happening. So, but yeah, I think LeBron and I think LeBron did what he was set out to do. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, is his Tequila Lobos in stores?
Yeah, it is.
I want to try that.
Yeah.
I want to try it. That's what I think about it.
I actually thought Space Jam was a kind of a dope movie. Like I watched it, I enjoyed it. If I was 10 or 11, I would have been laughing my ass off. I don't think it was much of a basketball movie though. I think it was more of a cartoon. I think the first one had more of like basketball influence. This was more of just like a cartoon. I actually like the fact that they incorporated other Warner Brothers characters in it. I thought that was dope, like incorporating Superman and Wonder Woman and everything else. I thought that was kind of.
You saw Superman more in that movie than you have Warner promoting him in the last 10 years.
This is true, but you saw Superman there. I thought even the scene, I thought them alluding to the first Space Jam was dope in the movie when it was like Lola, like been there, done that. Like I thought that was cool. It was a cool movie. I don't think it was like. I don't know. I don't think it'll be as much of a classic. As the first movie.
It's not because of LeBron, it's because of the era that it's in. Like
I don't think it'll be as much of a classic as the first movie.
Also, the Looney Tunes don't have the same value that they had in the 90s. I don't think that people give a shit because Bugs Bunny don't even come on TV no more.
Yeah. So but in general, I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was cool. LeBron's acting was some of the worst acting I ever seen in my life, though. Yeah. That shit was terrible. LeBron got carried through the movie because that shit was terrible.
Black Panther level of CGI in that movie too. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, it was a lot of CGI, a whole lot of CGI. But all in all, I'm happy I watched it at home and didn't go to the theater. But that's not me saying it wasn't a good movie. It was a good movie.
I think that also with somebody was like, oh, would have been cool Michael Jordan was in. I'm like, no, because the kids were like, who the fuck is this old dude? They wouldn't have gave a shit. People our age would have like, oh shit. First of all, Mike's not leaving the house to do that shit.
He's not. Yeah, no, he's not.
He's a billionaire now. He's not doing that shit. And the kids wouldn't give a fuck about it. Kids wear Michael Jordan shoes don't even know he played basketball. Like
I said, we're almost. It sucks because it means we're getting older. But we're almost at the point where everything Michael Jordan did is so far away, it don't even seem like he did it.
I don't think we're there yet.
No, we about to be there.
10 years away.
No, we ain't 10. We about 5.
I don't think so, bro. I really don't think so. I think the Last Dance gave that nigga about another 5 years.
The last shot.
It's about the 5-year anniversary of the Last Dance, and then I might.
The last shot. I said about 5 years. The last shot is about to be 30 years old, bro. And the Wizards years never happened. So we almost at the point where like
you think people forgot about Showtime?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Do you think children know Magic Johnson played basketball? That's a real question.
So you're talking about people like casual watch? Because I always gotta remember that we're sports heads. So
yes.
we'll always
people don't even put Kareem in their GOAT discussions.
Yeah, this is true.
And he has arguably the best basketball resume of all time.
Yeah, I still think with that, if you have Kareem GOAT, your age, just like certain people when they put Mike in their top 5. To me, if you under, I'm be real. If you under 27, I don't honor.
Shut the
Mike
hell up. Shut up. You didn't see none of this. Shut up.
Yeah, it's like if you under 27, I don't honor Mike being number 1.
You watched The Last Dance and fell into the propaganda, and here you go. Shut up.
It's like where I'm at in life now. People think that Dark Knight is still the best comic book movie. Like I don't agree with you anymore. Like I feel like that's like saying Already Die the best rap album. Is it?
No.
Like, so I just feel like it's that time. So if you're under 27, LeBron better be on your list. LeBron or Kobe better be 1 or 2 on your list. I don't honor that you put Mike on there.
Facts. But we can leave it at there, Scott. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Like I said,
this is like when I replaced Thomas. This is like when Don Shooter replaced Terrence Howard. I'm back.
When he gets into the movie and they like didn't even allude to the fact that this man's gone. This man's gone. But yeah, man, like I said, TP hopefully will be back and healthy for the next episode. But until then, man, it's been Hoops and Brews. And we're all going to a funeral on
so final score. What's your final score?
See, it's gonna be like 125 to 94.
Okay. I think that they're going to be up by 25 at some point, but I do think it's going to be one of the scores going to look closer than the game was. Yeah, so I'm going to say about 121, 104.
That's fair. Fair.
And Giannis wins finals MVP.
Yes. I don't know where this Chris Middleton shit. Shut the hell up. That's not happening. Yeah, this man has 2 legendary finals plays in back-to-back games.
Not going to allow that at all.
We are not giving the trophy to Lord Middleton. I'm calling him Lord Middleton forever. Lord Middleton. But yeah, until next time, man, it's been Hoops and Brews. Holla at y'all.
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going.
Yeah.